head back to Old Pejeta Conservancy. We were there. We started the day pretty much there this morning. We met some of the canine unit. We met some of the dogs. We got to see, a little bit of what they do to kind of get ready in the morning. It was really, really neat perspective to see. It was great to see the relationship between the dogs and the rangers. So a real fun way to kind of start the day. And we're going to visit with some of my favorite girls to visit with at Old Pejeta. So we've got Eva Kamini joining us. She's the education coordinator. So I'm going to bring her in right now, and we'll see who's with her today.
Hi,
Eva,
Joe.
how are you?
Hi. How are you? You're fine, thank you. It's always a pleasure to again be bringing our girls to you guys. We're excited.
Oh, excellent. Well, it's so great to see you. Of course, it's always great to see the girls. And on World Ranger Day, what a great day to do it.
Absolutely. And I've sure brought the rangers and the keepers who really work hard to take care of them and to make sure that they're safe and really to help them move away from this story of extinction. So I've brought them along. We'll get to meet them a little later on as we go along, and we'll get to hear their stories. Today, it's all about the rangers.
Excellent. Well, I'm going to let you take over for a little bit, Eva, and then maybe we'll do a little bit of questions towards the end.
Absolutely. So we are excited to be hosting all of you on Old Pejeta Conservancy on this World Rangers Day. We are excited to really be shining a spotlight on our rangers, wildlife keepers, really the men and women who work so hard to make everything that happens here possible. They're really our stars, and they, ensure that we're able to keep doing what we do. They sacrifice a lot, and we'll really get to hear a lot of their stories today as they tell us how it is to work behind the scenes with these animals on a day-to-day basis, as they, bring us behind the scenes into their lives as rangers and into their lives working in the African savannah, trying to protect our wildlife. And today I'm joined by Jojo. Jojo is one of the keepers of the last two Northern White Rhinos. And Jojo has been literally working with them since the beginning when they came to Old Pejeta. So he's really seen it all, right? He's walked this journey with the rhinos. He's walked the extinction journey, and hopefully the movement from that extinction with the rhinos. So we are happy to have him. Jojo, you want to join us? Yeah, hi.
Hi, everyone.
Yes, Jojo. So you have really been in the story of the last two Northern White Rhinos from the beginning. So please walk us a little bit from the beginning in 2009 when they arrived. What was the feeling like, especially for the rangers who had this huge task to protect these very, very special and rare rhinos?
Yeah, so when the Northern White Rhino they were being brought over here, we were so happy because they came here in Pejeta, and it was the only place in Africa where they were being brought. So we were so happy, and and each and everyone who was hoping these rhinos because they were being brought back here so that they can be able to breed in a natural way. So we were hoping each and everything is gonna be able to go well, but so far we have not been babies so far.
So Jojo, tell us, when they arrived here, how many were the rhinos, and which rhinos arrived here, and where did they come from to come into Kenya?
Yeah, so the Northern White Rhino at that time, there were about just only 8 of them left in the whole world. And that was the reason why they brought 4 of them back here in Africa as one way of trying to bring them back to their homeland. Because, we always say East or West home is the best. So they brought 4 of them as one way of trying to breed them in a natural way. And the other one, which one they were being left behind, like in those Pacific countries, like because these two rhinos they came from Czech Republic in Europe, and I can be able to say at the beginning the northern white rhino they were just originally from Africa, like places like in Congo, Sudan, DRC, Chad, in those Pacific countries. But because of the souvenirs war and these animals they were being killed a lot and a lot because of the poaching. And the people they were keep killing these animals, and whenever they get that horn, they were keeping selling it in the market. And then the money which one they were getting it was coming back to support the rebels, and that is how they were being killed a lot. But there was a organization which wanted to took few of them all the way up to the zoo in Czech Republic. By that time, the zoo was new, and they were taking some animals, not just only for the rhinos. They were taking like giraffes, zebras, as one way of trying to save them. And when they went in the zoo, because the climate was much more different to compare to Africa, it is so cold over there in Czech Republic, and those is up on Europe, so it was so cold. So the animal they did not be able to breed a lot. So and also the other rhinos, which one they were being left behind in Africa. So all of them they were being killed by the poachers. So that is how they end up all the way to Czech Republic, and then they brought them back here in Africa in the year 2008, where they realized there were no more northern white rhino, which one was being left in Africa because they were just only staying in the zoo. So in Czech Republic, they were having 6 of them, and also in San Diego Zoo in America, they were having 2 of them. So in the year 2009 is where they decided to sit down to be able to come with a plan. How can they be able to breed these animals? And by that time is when they brought these northern white rhino, 4 of them here in Africa, as one way of trying to breed them. So the other one, which one they were being left behind, those one they were too old, so they starting dying one by one because of an old age. And also when they came over here, also it was a little bit difficult for them because they were used to stay in the zoo, so they did not know how to depend on themselves. So we managed to put them with the southern white rhino, so that the southern white rhino can be like their teacher, teaching them how to become natural rhinos. And they have learned more from the southern white rhino how to depend on themselves. Because at the first time when they were being brought over here, they were used to be fed like carrots, bananas, bread, apples, melon, all kind of those. And then we want the rhino to become natural rhinos. So that was the reason why we decided to put them with the southern white.
Oh, awesome. So that's why you see 3 rhinos here, right? So everybody always asks, it's 2 northern white rhinos. Why do we have 3?
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah,
The
that
third
is
one is the southern white, right?
yeah, the southern is the one which one always give them the company.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. He's there, and the southern white has really been a good teacher to the northern white rhinos.
Yeah.
But tell me, from you as a ranger, what a huge how heavy is that responsibility protecting the last 2 of a kind?
Um, it's always whenever you see people mentioning the two on their own kind, and you know it's because of us humans, because we are the big threat of these animals. We are the big threat of the nature. We are keeping destroying each and everything. But that is the reason why for us, the rangers, we always come in and we always try to protect these animals, and we always try also to educate uh, other people about the importance of the conservation, because this world we cannot be able to live just only as humans. We still need also the other animals. We still need them also. They still need us to take care of them, because people they kill them because of their horns, and the horn is just like our own fingernail or like a compact of air, the same as material which one is called keratin. And if your fingernail cannot be able to help you, also it's the same thing with the horn, cannot be able to help you. Yeah.
Absolutely. And the war that has been meted out to these animals because of that horn, right? It's incredible. It's a war, right?
Yeah.
And every day, you guys are working hard to make sure that we don't have poaching incidences on the conservancy. How long has it been since I think we've had a couple of years now without a poaching incident, right?
Yeah, it's almost 4 years.
4 years.
We have not lost any rhinos because of the way we are working so hard to make sure our animals they are safe.
Absolutely.
Because for us, these animals is like part of our family because we spend a lot of time with them than the way even we spend time with our own families because we still want to protect them and we doesn't want anything to happen to them, and we still want also our next generation to be able to see these animals. I doesn't want for us to keep going back right where we used to say we want to have dinosaurs. We doesn't want to go back to keep telling there was rhinos. Doesn't want to go there. That is the reason why we are sacrificing ourselves day and night to try to protect these animals.
Absolutely. It's such a heavy responsibility that you guys carry to ensure that this species is not going to extinction. And so, like when they arrived, and maybe just to take you back, when they arrived, there were four animals, right? And now we have two. How did we get from four to two animals, Jojo?
Yeah. So when they arrived here, there were two female and two male. So we were having Najin and Fatu. Those were the two female, and also we were having Sunni and Sudan. And one of the male passed away in the year 2014, which one was called Sunni, and Sunni died for natural death. And Sunni is which one he was a little bit young than Sudan, but he died for natural death. And Sunni was the one which one we were thinking is gonna be able to breed the two female, but he died for natural death. And also we also saw the other male in the year 2018, which one was called Sudan, the only last male of his own kind. And Sudan he was having some issues with their legs because of walking in a concrete floor for a long time in the zoo. So he was much more affected. Even for the last 3 days, he could not be able to walk up because the back legs was almost gone and he was struggling a lot to try to walk up with the first leg. And the scientists they decided to put him down because there was nothing they could be able to do. Because Sudan he was a little bit old because he was 45 years old, and the lifespan of a rhino, one in captivity, carry between age of 40 to 45, and even sometimes they go beyond 50. So Sudan he was a little bit old, and the scientists they decided to put him down because of Sudan he was suffering a lot, and it was so sad for us and so painful for us, because of being here taking care of the animal, and the last day you see it, him getting to be turned down. It was so sad, but we did what we and we gave him the best we could.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember that day. It was a very somber day. And as all the rangers who had been with Sudan since he arrived in Kenya just gathered around him in his last hours, you could tell that the weight and the heaviness that you guys carried, just seeing him live out his last days. But really, as you say, you had given him your best, right? We had given him, our very, very best, absolutely. And now, even after that very sad moment of losing Sudan with the last two females, at least now there's some hope, Jojo. All the IVF that has been going on. You want to tell us a bit of an update on that?
Yeah. So the good thing is, before the male they died, the scientists they managed to collect some sperms for 5 different male for the Northern White Rhino. So that sperm has been frozen in laboratories. And the two female, which one we are having at the moment, or Najin and Fatu, the two female of the Northern White Rhino. So they are still also having some issues. So we realized in the year 2015, like one of the female, which one is older, called Najin, he was having some issues with the back legs because of walking in a concrete floor for a long time. So even if he carry a pregnant, he cannot be able to hold that pregnant for a long time because the gestation period is between 17 months up to 18 months, and he cannot be able to carry the pregnant all that long time. And also, also the other thing is we doesn't want to risk with the two of them we have. And also when also you come to Fatu, he's still also having some issues with the uterus. So the two of them they cannot be able to carry the pregnant. But the scientists they've been working so hard because between the northern white rhino and the southern white rhino, those are the two subspecies. And the southern white rhino, they are more than 20,000, but for the northern white rhino, they are just only two of them. So the scientists, they've been working so hard with the southern white rhinos to be able to know the good way of getting the eggs out without hurting the animal.
Absolutely. And there's been a lot of progress, we must say, and the scientists were able to collect eggs from the animals. Of course, it was a very long process and a very complicated process, right? But
Yeah.
eventually they were able to manage to get the eggs from the females, right?
Yeah, that is the reason why they were doing an experiment with the southern white rhino to be able to know the good way of getting the eggs out without hurting the animal. And also, when also they succeeded, they came back here in the year 2019, and then they tried to harvest some eggs from the two girls, and also they succeeded. So for now, they have been coming each and every after 3 months to 4 months. Only the last year when the COVID was there, so it was a little bit difficult for them to come because there was some lockdown each and everywhere. So now they have come 6 times, and the last time it was like 3 weeks ago. They were here to collect some eggs, and when they collected some eggs, and when they went back to the laboratory, they managed to mix between the sperm of the male and also the sperm of the female, and also they managed to create at the moment they managed to create an embryo. So at the moment when I speak, there is 12 embryos.
Yeah.
Which one is pure breed of the northern white rhino? Which one has been frozen? So for now, we are having a high chance of bringing the species back because we able to have any embryos. So the chance was like 50-50 chance. But for now, there is a high chance, almost 80 or 90% of bringing the species back. So now those 12 embryos has been frozen in a laboratory. And you keep remembering, because the two of the female, they cannot be able to carry the pregnant. So we're gonna be able to try to use the southern white rhino as the surrogate mom. So even for now, there is still monitoring which one is keeping going on. So those embryos, for now, we want to try with the two southern white rhino to be the surrogate moms, so that we can be able to learn, because the IVF, they have done it with humans, they have done it with cows, they have done it with horses and so many animals, but they never done it with the animal which one is beyond 2 tons and above. So it's gonna be the first time to do it with the rhinos, and that is the reason why they're gonna be able to use the southern white rhino to be the surrogate mom.
Absolutely. So now there's a bit of good news, definitely. With 12 embryos, we are somewhere, and we're really hopeful that hopefully before the end of the year we'll have some good news, and maybe you will switch from being a keeper of the big girls. Now you'll have little rhinos to take care of, right? Yeah, I think it's exciting news, and Yeah, thank you for that, and thank you even for sharing about how what sometimes you spend so much time with the animals more than you do with your own family. So we, I think, are happy to take any questions that you guys may have for Jojo, especially on his role in terms of being a ranger for the last two Northern White Rhinos.
All right, excellent. Well, thank you so much, Jojo. It's always great to see you. Thanks for joining us today and sharing a little bit of your story. So I think, the first question that kind of popped up right away was, wow, 4 years without losing a rhino. Is there a secret to the success? Is it multiple things coming together? What are the Rangers getting right now?
Yeah. So it's because of our sacrifice. I think we have come to realize as humans we are the big threat. So the people they are starting changing about the way they used to see things. So for now they are starting changing. And the reason why they are changing is because of us dangers. Because we are the one we are protecting these animals day and night. And we always try to put the word outside there. I think I can be able to give you a small story about my colleague who actually went to Hong Kong to give the kids talk at the school, talking more about the conservation and talking more about the two northern white rhinos we have. And in Hong Kong there is those market which one has been opened for free for selling the rhino horn, elephant tusk, and the other product of animals. And my colleague was in the classroom with the kids, he asked the kid, "Where do you think the rhino horn come from?" And the funny story or the sad story is, the kid they were used to be told, as rangers, we always follow the rhino at back until the horn fall down. And whenever the horn fall down, we correct it, we take it to the market, and then the money which one we get, it always come back to support the conservation. That is how they were being told, because they did not know what was happening. So when my colleague showed them the pictures of the rhinos, which one is being killed, others been cut the horn, and all the kids were crying because they did not know what was happening. And that is the one thing which one we are trying to target to educate the young generation, because they are the one which one they're gonna be able to be here for so many years to come. Because whenever you try to target the old peoples, they've been believing so many beliefs, so even sometimes it's hard to change them. But if we try to target the young generation, you know, they're gonna be able to go back to their home maybe at the evening time, and then they can be able to try to chat with their parents, to try to give them like a big challenge. And the parents, they're gonna be able like to try to get to understand what the kid they want to say, and they're gonna be able to try to tell them what is really keeping happening. And that is how we are thinking, and we are keeping putting the word outside there. And also the other thing is, we've been also trying to work so hard with the surrounding communities. So we always like trying to educate the communities, and also we always like to employ a lot of people close to the communities, so that whenever they see something strange come inside the conservancy or someone strange, so they always call us, give us a call to tell us somewhere is not going well, because also the communities also they benefit from the conservancy.
Absolutely. So apart from a lot of course, there's a lot of protection, armed protection, and surveillance. I think, as you've rightly mentioned, Jojo, there's a lot of conservation education that you guys are doing, a lot of support to communities. That is really, I think, one of the things that has been a game changer for us. It's collaboration with communities, it's conservation education. It's really as you hear Jojo saying, the rangers going into classrooms to speak to students and to spread the word. So really a combination of strategies, but I think also the mind change, as you've said, from local communities and from international community as well, that conservation education that has been going out has really been a game changer for us.
All right, awesome. And I think we can squeeze in one more question here, another one for Jojo. And it's, we'd really like to know what inspired you, what pushed you towards a career in conservation?
Yeah, that is a good question. So I think all of us rangers, we always have different stories to tell. So here in Kenya, if your family is not that well, you'll have to learn how to survive by yourself. And like for me, because I did not be able to finish the high school, and because my family was not that well, so I was struggling there and there to try to find any work as long as they keep feeding me. And when I came inside here, there was one of my friend who told me like there is a contract of coming to cook for the rangers here at the conservancy. And then I told him I will come and I will try my best. And that is how I get work inside here. I came here and then I cooked for those 2 weeks. And then after there, I was been given another contract. I think I cooked very well. I don't know, maybe the guys they can be what say, but I was been given a contract for another 1 year and a half, and I cooked very well for them. And I was cooking for like 60 peoples, and sometimes it was a little bit boring because by that time I was used to cooking inside on the bush where there was no any house. I was cooking outside. Sometimes I was getting a difficult time when there was some rain, you know. So my work starting boring me because for cooking for 60 people, I am cooking the same thing as each and every day. And I used to see my colleagues on the other side how they were working with the rhinos. And that is where I came to admire to be working with the rhinos. And I remember one day I asked my boss if he could be able maybe to give me a chance so I can be able like to get a promotion to be able to go to work with rhinos. And he told me, why do you think you're perfect to go to work with rhinos? And I told him like I'm not perfect, but if you can be able to give me a chance, I can be able to improve myself. And he told me like I gonna be able to try to see if you can be able to move. And then after few months, and then there was another rhino which one it was being brought from the neighboring conservancy, and that rhino was totally blind. I was being given a chance so where I could be able to take care of that rhino. He was being put in a small area, and it was a black rhino. So I was being given a work where I used to keep hanging some branches because the black rhino they eat a leaf from the trees. So each and every day I will used to go at the bush to try to cut some leaves so I can be able to come to hang around. And I was being told like you have to try to tame the rhino so that it can be able to come to be tamed. And it was a little bit hard for me because I never work anywhere with animals, so it was the first time to work with the rhino. And the rhino was a little bit aggressive. So because it was been in a small area, so sometimes he was like knocking the post down, and I was a little bit scared because I did not know anything about the rhinos. But the good thing is I was been given older guys which one they've been working here for a long time, so that they can be able to teach me how to handle the rhinos. And it took me some few months, and then the rhino became much more used. And I remember one day my boss came inside and then he told me like I just want to see how you have been doing here. And I opened the gate and then I told him like you can be able to walk in. The funny thing he told me like he want me to get inside so that I can be able to go to be killed by a rhino. And I told him no. I told him okay, I'll be the first to go inside, and then I went inside. I touched the rhino everywhere, and the rhino was so calm. And the boss came inside, and then he touched the rhino, and then he told me like, "Wow, so you have been doing a good work." And when the rhino went back to the conserving neighbor, the conservancy, which one is very close to Olpajeta, and I was been given a chance where I will be able to work with the Northern White Rhinos. And that is where now I am until today.
So interesting story. Jojo moved from cooking for rangers to being a ranger. I always love hearing that story.
That's great, Jojo. That's some dedication. That's some passion. Really great story. Thanks for sharing that with us today.
Yeah.
Well, Eva, I have to say it's been just great to have two. I feel like we won the lottery. Two events from Old Pejeta today. One with the K9 unit, and then a chance to see the rhinos and talk to Jojo and yourself. So, absolutely great work by all, from the Rangers through to the education team, through the team who's behind the camera, and everybody else in between. So it's always a pleasure, and I feel like everybody tuning in is lucky to spend a little World Ranger Day with Old Pejeta.
Absolutely, Jojo. It was our pleasure to have hosted two events in one day. I think it's a first for us, and we are excited to bring more parts of the conservancy to people everywhere. Of course, because we are a key rhino protection area, we work a lot to protect the rhinos. So I'm just going to go ahead and say that we are actually planning for our global gala for rhinos on October 23rd. Of this year, where it's going to be a huge event to try and fundraise and create awareness around rhino conservation. And it will be hosted from the Royal Geographical Society in London in association with us. We are teaming up with Helping Rhinos for this event, and we are urging everybody to buy tickets from our social media platforms everywhere: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. There is a link in the bio where you can be able to get your tickets. And because you guys joined us for this very special event, we are going to be giving away discounts for those tickets to join us for that event from now up to the 2nd of August. So go quickly and grab your ticket, and see you at the Global Gala for Rhino.
Yeah, and that is one way of keeping supporting the animals.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, again, thank you so much. What a great initiative. We'll share that on social media as well. There they are. One last look. I'm going to make it full screen here. All right. Well, again, thank you to everybody who made the events possible today. Thank you to the Rangers, those behind the camera, Eva, everybody. Have a great rest of your weekend, and we look forward to our next visit to Old Pejeta.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
See ya.